Welcome to your Tea Time Tip. I'm Terry Miskolczi, Director of Instruction for Brown Golf here in Bluffton, South Carolina. Today, I am going to talk about why in the world when you go out to play, one day you hit the short golf clubs well, but the long golf clubs are all over the place. Next time you go out, you drive the ball well, but you think you can hit a short golf club, can't even come close. So we're going to go over the practice tee and we're going to help you understand why. Okay, so we're over here on the practice tee. I got an 8-iron in my hand, I got a driver in my hand. And we're trying to figure out how to bring more consistency from one part of the game to the other part of the game. And guess what? It all has to do with setup. That's where the problem lies. And here's what begins to happen. Here's my driver position. I'll lay the 8-iron down right now. I'll go to my driver position. And when I walk in, set up, place the club right behind the ball, and then I'll move my front foot, and I move it the whole width of my foot. So I move it forward. That's my ball position in relationship to my front foot. Then I take my driver stance, and my driver stance, and they always tell you shoulder width, but they never tell you where the darn thing's measured. It's shoulder width measured on the outside of the shoulders to the inside of the feet. That's your driver stance. Your 5-iron stance, I'll take the back foot, I'll move it in a bit. So now I'm going to be shoulder width, outside my shoulders to the middle of each foot. And then for my 8-iron, when I go over to my 8-iron, move my back foot in again, just a bit. So now my width of my shoulders, outside my shoulders to outside my feet. But here's where the problem comes in. When you pick the driver, a lot of times the driver does what? The driver places the ball off his front foot. Well, once you've done that, now you've changed your setup position. You now have to figure out where to bottom out. So remember, in the golf swing, as you move forward, the center of the body has to be opposite the ball, well in advance of the arm and club coming forward. All right, now you got further to go. Now here's the problem. I pick the 8-iron up. And the 8-iron says, I'm supposed to play the ball center in my stance. Some of you will play it back a bit. All right, but once you play it center in your stance, now you have to figure out how to bottom out somewhere again. So some days you'll walk into your shot and you'll feel very comfortable with that. But because you push the driver too far forward, you're uncomfortable with it and you try hard to make your contact. So when I look at consistency in my golf shots from one end of the game to the other end of the game, when I walk in, my ball position is constant. It's one club head width just inside my front foot. Now that's for me. So when I walk in, there is my short golf club stance. There's my medium golf club stance. There's my long golf club stance. So now when I make a swing, I can think the same thing from one swing. Set myself up. Take the driver stance and to the other swing. And that is how I begin to bring consistency into my golf game from one club to the other club. See you next week for our next tip.